Let's try not to delete the audio this time, huh?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
My dumb ass, dude. I'm still not over it.
It took 2 minutes, but I found it hilarious. Even though it did happen.
It was that's why. First of all, before we get into the opening question, that's why there was no episode last week. It was supposed to be about Superman, but the recording got pushed back like 2-3 times.
Yeah,
and then we finally recorded at 2 a.m. and I deleted the audio as soon as we got done. My apologies.
We finished recording. I go to edit my portion of the audio, and I hear, "Fuck me, I'm such an idiot." And I'm like, "What happened?"
Yeah, and then I was like, I deleted my entire audio. Then we spent the next hour and a half trying to figure out a way to maybe recover it. Yeah. And we found a way, but it wasn't there. It just wasn't there.
That did happen.
But that's the explanation. But Z, I have a question for you. I have a scenario.
All right, what you got
for you? Yeah, save your work. And don't get distracted. As a man, you can't multitask, right? You can't do it. What happened was I found a screenshot. I wanted to use it for a video on TikTok, which I ended up making the TikTok, but I found it. And while I was doing that, I just pressed X. I just pressed exit Audacity. And what's even dumber is when you do that without saving, it says, do you want to save this? Like, what are you doing? And I just, without reading it, my mouse just went to no.
That automatic pop-up deletion just got you, didn't it?
I guess so. My God. Anyways, Z, I want you to imagine yourself back in Rome. Back in ancient Rome, right?
All right.
You have been, I won't say you're a criminal. The allegations are already bad enough.
All right.
But you're a gladiator, all right? You're in the middle of the arena. And across from you, you see the door that raises up to let out whatever it is you're fighting. And you know that it's either going to be a lion, a tiger, or a bear. You're equipped with a shield and a sword. Which one are you hoping that comes out of there? And which one are you least hoping that comes out of there?
So I'm least hoping for the bear, right? Because I know at least bears have a lot more meat on them, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They're a little tougher to slice through with whatever probably shitty sword a gladiator's given.
Right.
And then after that, I probably don't want a lion because, for one, they're just majestic. Two, they're a lion. They kind of have a greater presence than a tiger, in my opinion.
More aura? More W-Riz?
No.
No, but yeah, I wouldn't want to kill a lion. I wouldn't
want to fight a lion. It feels like it'd be a much more difficult fight to fight a lion than it would a tiger. And of which I would probably hope for a tiger.
The door would open and be like, Mufasa? And everybody would be like, what? It'll make sense in the future.
Either that or Scar.
If it's Scar, I'm fucking Scar up, right?
Yeah.
But if you do fight a lion, you gotta hop on the back and be like, long live the king. And stab him.
And then stab him in his neck.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But you're saying you're hoping for the tiger, pretty much.
Hoping for the tiger, yeah.
Okay. Tiger, is it stronger than a lion?
I don't know.
It's pretty much the same statistics.
I'd imagine so. It just feels like lions are usually bigger and meaner.
That makes sense. The bear, it's over.
Yeah.
I might just start trying to climb out of the Coliseum, hope they shoot you with an arrow or some shit. I'm not getting mauled by a bear.
Open the door! Open the door!
Open the door! Let me out! Let me out!
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. A bear is probably the least I would want to fight. We can throw it back a little bit to the more recent one with the fucking gorilla.
The gorilla?
Yeah.
You could probably kill a
gorilla.
You could probably kill a gorilla.
I don't know. I feel like a gorilla would probably be on the same as a bear.
I think it'd be easier to kill a gorilla than a bear. I still think you're not succeeding, though.
Yeah, I could agree
But
with that.
but also a gorilla's more intelligent. A gorilla will start picking shit up and just throwing it at you.
Fucking using its own armor to block the fucking sword.
Also, dude, putting a gorilla in there would be dangerous. If you piss off that gorilla, it's gonna
It's
climb
over.
that wall
It's
and
over.
jump into the crowd. And then,
just start thrashing motherfuckers.
you know what? If I had a time machine,
If I had a time machine, I'd bring a very angry gorilla to the Roman Coliseum.
dude, when you put in historical perspective, gorillas were thought to be on the same level as like Bigfoot back in the day. Because I think
What you
gorillas,
like,
well, because
rarely seen sort of mythology.
well, like today you can go to a zoo and see a gorilla, or you can look up online and see a video of a gorilla, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, they were just in the woods. They were in the jungles of Africa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Explorers would come back and talk about these 500-pound muscular beasts with opposable thumbs that would just rip people apart or snap arms. And people would be like,
sign language.
yeah. But normal people would be like, come on, what are you talking about? It wasn't until an explorer found a skull of a gorilla and brought it back that they were like, oh, I'm not going in the woods.
Oh, these motherfuckers exist. Okay.
Yeah. That's why back in the day, I say back in the day, like thousands of years ago, artists would be like tasked to draw animals based purely on memory. And that's why a lot of it looks fucked up. And there's even people talking about, those are aliens. It's like, no.
I was going to say, there's also a lot of, it's coming from an art major, but there's a lot of different styles of art in like those times. Well, they were more for realism and idealism rather than, I guess, impressionism, which would have happened much later.
Yeah.
But never mind, I guess. I just counteracted my own point because they usually went for more realistic art in that time. So I'm assuming if they're drawing fucking gorilla, they're going to try at least off of memory.
Yeah. Probably just draw a jacked up human. But no, one of the best scenarios I heard was, could you imagine being a Roman soldier going against this army and all of a sudden you just feel the ground rumbling and just hear this loud, "Ah!" and just see this 5-story tall thing with long ass tusks coming from its face, coming straight for you.
But hey, those motherfuckers hunted them bitches.
Dude, like, if you saw an elephant back in the day, if you were in the middle of Italy, you grew up in the middle of Rome, you had no idea what an elephant was until you go off to war, and all of a sudden these people are coming at you with these massive fucking creatures.
Got motherfuckers riding on top of them and shit.
There was one, I watched this video on how animals have been incorporated into war a while ago. One of those 3 a.m. on YouTube. Let's see what I can watch.
The holes you find yourself down.
Yeah. And one of them was, I forget who it was, but their solution to war elephants was to light pigs on fire and send them towards the elephant. They would literally put tar on their back, light it, and because they thought that the pigs would scare the elephants into like running away.
Okay. Is that something they actually tried?
Yeah. And what's fucked up about it is sometimes the pigs would just turn around and light their tent on fire.
I was gonna say, like, what's stopping the pigs from like absolutely freaking the fuck out and just wreaking havoc wherever the fuck they were set on fire? It sounds like a bad plan. It's like set up some trackways or some shit, light them on fire from the tail first, and then have them run.
Dude, the worst one that I would hate being a part of, not in terms of animal cruelty, it was cruel.
Okay.
But this general was locked in like a naval battle with another army.
Mm-hmm.
and they were losing, and they were losing bad. So what this general decided to do was shove a bunch of poisonous snakes into vases and boxes and shit and throw that onto the ship. And crash, it would break, and the snake would come out like, who the fuck? And it would just bite anything that got near it.
Snakes on a Plane Pirate Edition.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on my motherfucking boat. But no, back then you're like, the gods hate me. Like,
Dude,
you don't know what is going on.
No escape. You could maybe swim, but who's to say the snakes can't either? And if they can, they'd be much faster than you.
Oh yeah, dude. Like if they had their version of like a water moccasin.
Yeah.
Imagine that you jump in the water and you're like, and you just see this thing slithering quick towards you. You're like, gee, okay.
Time to dive, I guess.
No, but honestly, back in the day, would you go to a Roman Colosseum gladiator fight?
I don't know, because I don't even think I'd really go to like a UFC fight today.
Yeah.
And like I did go to like some wrestling events way back when, but I mean it was alright. I don't know if I'd find much enjoyment in a gladiator type event, Coliseum type event.
I don't think I would enjoy a gladiator battle. I don't think I would enjoy just a criminal tied to a post getting mauled to death by a lion.
Yeah.
Don't think I'd like that. But they would flood the floor of the Colosseum and have makeshift naval battles. And I'm like, I would watch that.
That sounds lit.
That sounds so sick.
I wonder how they would have done it. I mean, I guess aqueducts are a thing, but
of course, yeah, the Romans were stupidly innovative when it came to stuff like that. Did you hear they cracked the code on how the Roman stones have lasted this long?
No.
Apparently, in their cement mixture, they would just add limestone, which limestone is really, really good at withstanding like rain. You know what I mean?
Isn't lime already mixed in with concrete as well as like asphalt, I think?
I'm not exactly sure of
I'm not sure either. So it seems like every show or anything I've watched that has anything to do with like ingredients to concrete, they're always like lime or limestone or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what I hated back when I learned that the Mongol Empire, you hear of Genghis Khan. You hear Genghis Khan did a lot of fucking. My God. His dick was everywhere.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it like 1 in every 200 people in Asia are descendants of Genghis Khan? Is that the stat?
I'm not sure.
All right. You look it up, or you're going to look it up?
I'll look it up. Yeah.
But Rome was known as the greatest empire the world has ever seen. How it stretched across Europe, lasted for hundreds of years, yada, yada, yada. Dude, the Mongol Empire took over the entirety of Asia, and the only reason it did not move into Europe is because Genghis Khan died. And the general just said, all right, we got to go back.
Yeah, you were right. It's one, or at least what I'm seeing here is 1 in 200, but it's 1 in 200 worldwide.
Worldwide? My God, he was fucking and he sent his flock off.
Legend has it that 16 million descendants, possibly.
Yeah.
Had enough opportunity. Several wives and as many as 500 concubines.
Yeah, which basically meant slaves that he captured in his conquest and just said, she's pretty enough. Ah!
Yeah. Yeah. That would make sense. Yeah, it's a lot of people.
And that really reminds me of something that got brought up to me again, and it's people try to convince you Ben Shapiro, guys like that, like Jordan Peterson, like aren't smart guys. And that's ridiculous. They wouldn't be in the positions they are if they weren't intelligent people.
Yeah.
What I hate is the dishonesty and trying to justify a position you have based purely on religion by saying like, oh yeah, we know that that's not going to go anywhere. So let's have an actual whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone questioned Ben Shapiro why he doesn't agree with gay marriage. And they were like, is it a religious thing? He was like, well, religious, yes, but there's also a real reason. They're like, let me hear it. You know what this fucking idiot said?
What?
He said, marriage in all of human history has been to have kids. That's it.
Okay.
Stupid. That's a stupid fucking...
Yeah.
Before America, were there... Oh my God. Marriages were for wealth and land and conquest. If your village got taken over, now if you were, like we said, pretty enough, you'd become the wife of either the general or the king that just took over this village. Your family wanted to keep what oh my
Status,
God, dude.
Relationship, and by relationship I mean political relationship. Yeah.
Maybe when you're a peasant, but I doubt that was really for, well, we gotta have babies, so I guess I'll fuck this asshole, right?
I mean, I wonder what like Genghis Khan's, like, going back to him, like what his reasoning would have been, because I do know, or at least I think I'm fairly sure there were a lot of like people of that day and age that were like, I've got to have as many kids as possible, or shit like that.
Oh yeah,
because there was always like that person. Like there's even somebody today that's probably fathered, like his Australian dude that's probably fathered around like 200 kids through like donations and other his own methods.
Did you hear about that doctor who had like 15 kids because a woman would come in and want a sperm donation? He'd be like, I'll give you a donation.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a documentary on him, and I forget what the documentary is called, but it's so scummy. It's so scummy.
I fucking bet.
But yeah, dude, especially back in the 1800s, if you were in the middle of Kansas, you got a farm. Not only do you got a farm, you can't afford workers.
A large ass fucking farm.
Yeah, so you got to look at your wife and be like, honey, you're giving me at least 15.
Starts playing That Day's Age, Let's Get It On.
But marriage is to spend the rest of your life with this particular person. Now, the point I think really that he's getting at is a state should not, because, you know, when you get married and say you file taxes jointly, or even if you claim dependents or anything like that, you're head of household, you get tax breaks. For your kids and whatever. So maybe he's talking like that. Gay people can adopt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gay people can raise children just the same as, and I even think in a lesbian couple, no. I was thinking of a surrogate mother. I'm sure they don't. I mean, they could. If a lesbian couple went up to you as a friend and they're like, hey, can we have a little jar so we can have a child? Would you be like, no?
I don't know if I'd be like, because I mean, if you don't go through like official channels for shit like that, you could get caught in like a bunch of stuff. So it probably wouldn't be worth it unless it was like, I'm going to go donate to a sperm bank or something. You know, and then if they wanted, you know, a kid, they could go to whatever sperm bank and, you know, get that done.
You turn and you just get on your phone and out loud you're like, can I get charged alimony? Do I owe child support?
Will I owe child support?
Which I heard this on TikTok, so take it what you will, but there was an article to back it up. This lady actually sued. She found out whose sperm she got from the sperm bank. I know
what you're talking about.
And got him to pay child support. What are we
I
talking
don't remember
about?
if that actually got him into paid child support, but I do remember hearing about this girl suing a dude who she found through a sperm bank, uh, and was trying to sue for child support.
Well,
I don't remember how that case turned out, but
okay, I'm going to read the AI overview.
okay.
In some cases, a woman can successfully pursue child support from a sperm donor, particularly if the donation was not done through a licensed physician or sperm bank. So, like, there's dudes in their house just with a collection of jars. Be like,
No, I mean, I was telling you about this dude in Australia earlier. He's thought to have fathered like 200 kids. He's not like a licensed physician or a licensed like sperm bank. He just does it on his own. Like people contact him through like Facebook and shit.
Okay, so for those guys who are feeling justifiable enough, feeling nice enough to donate to a lady, do it through a physician. Do it through a sperm bank. You don't want to be charged $300 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully $300 a month, if anything, because it could be more depending on your state.
How much do you get for donating sperm, or is it just a pure donation?
I don't know if you get anything.
How much? I've been thinking about. Have you thought about selling your plasma yet?
Plasma, yes, I've thought about that. You can get like, I think around here is somewhere around like $120 to $200 for donating plasma.
Oh my God. Sperm donors can earn between $100 and $1,500 per month, depending on the frequency of donations. Listen. A donor who donates once or twice a week, which is a common frequency, can earn between $400 and $800 per month. Listen.
Oh, Lord.
Listen. That's half my rent, dog.
I think that's my entire rent. That's
well, on the higher end, that's half my rent. Dude. Thing is, like, do you have to be fertile? Probably. Probably.
Yeah, I would assume so.
I mean, unless you want to donate that to like a store, some woman wants to get real freaky with it, you know? Use it in like a dildo or something.
Okay.
You know, put it in the duck with a dick.
We can stop.
Turn on a little Puppy Loves Daycare.
And a little pterodactyl.
Put on a little pterodactyl in the bath. Man, we're just
it's horrible.
But no, I told you about this whole like wrestling video I made. What is the most obnoxious fan base you can think of to where you just dip your toe into the speaker around it and you're like, my God, this sucks.
Have you ever heard of Taylor Swift?
No. Is that like a underground?
Yeah, it's one of the new underground trap artists.
Trap artist. I go hard in the no. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah,
that.
no, it's just it's like her, like a lot of her fans are like crazy.
One of the YouTubers I watch made an animation about Taylor Swift, just making fun of the whole quote unquote hive mind of Taylor Swift.
Is it Meat Canyon, I believe? Yeah.
And he, on Twitter, there was Taylor Swift fans that were typing in quote unquote, what is it called? What is it called when like a preacher starts speaking a certain way?
A sermon?
No, like a different language.
Like speaking in tongue?
Yeah. They like typed this weird shit out with a My First Horror Movie kind of demo video where it was like blood and cockroaches and haunted house and and they were like, oh, he'll be gone soon. I saw that all over Twitter.
Yeah. So yeah, my point exactly.
There is a rap version of that. Have you seen Nicki Minaj fans?
No.
Deadly. you better not mention that Nicki Minaj married a rapist. Don't mention it. Don't talk about it. They've legit doxed people. They've put
Jesus
people's
Christ.
personal information all over the internet because they were like, man, Nicki Minaj's new album sucks. And they're like, it's over for you. Your life is over.
That sounds interesting.
No, for me,
sounds like a group of people I don't want to be associated with.
No, not at all. For me, Star Wars fans, below, suck.
Yeah.
Horrible.
That's true.
Sports fans, in general, suck. Below, horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the worst have to be wrestling fans. Wrestling fans are so annoying. Like, in person, it's cool to talk about professional wrestling. If you go online, don't. If I ever get you into professional wrestling, I'm going to tell you to ignore the conversation online. It is so
Lord.
toxic and so stupid. Like, people aren't getting doxxed over it, but it's just like the dumbest shit over something people hate on AEW or WWE. Don't even watch the fucking product. They haven't watched a single minute of the product, and they'll hop on Twitter talking about, what about that? I've imagined your head exploding.
You find those fans everywhere. I'm assuming it's just especially bad within that community.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen like several people like talk about like artists and such, like singers and whatnot. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't like him." It's like, why? Oh, I don't know. He did something bad one time, maybe.
And I will say, I've tried to get a lot better about that. I found myself being like, oh, this guy's an asshole. And I've asked myself why. It's like, oh, because I heard this about him. Why are you being a bitch? Why are you being like that? What are you doing?
Yeah. It's like, I didn't see anything that had to do with why people have this issue. And yet I hate it now.
Even now, there was a rising Democratic influencer named Dean Withers, I think.
Yeah.
And he just had this meltdown because this dad said that Dean asked him hypothetically, would you like, it was something about consent with his baby and a 65-year-old man watching his child naked. And the dad was basically like, it's not his choice and I'm not going to put him in that situation. Like, I'm just not. And Dean was like, docs the dude and is trying to get CPS on him because of that answer, right? Or at the very least, this is what I've heard.
Wait. So, Dean asked him, what about his child and a 65-year-old man?
The hypothetical was, would you allow a 65-year-old man to watch your baby while they're naked? Something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even know what the fucking conversation was. I've just seen this question.
And then the man's answer was no, right?
The dad's answer was basically hinting at the child cannot give consent. So it is my choice, and I'm not putting him in that situation. That was his answer.
Okay.
And Dean leaned back, doxed him, and was trying to get CPS to come take his child away.
Because he said he wouldn't allow his child to be watched while naked or whatever the fuck by an old man.
Because he said his child doesn't give consent. Which I don't know. Or his child doesn't have
the ability
right
to give consent.
Or something like that. And
shit.
Let me fucking tell you guys, children don't understand consent. They don't.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how that's a hot take. I don't think it is because everybody is turning on this guy. But there was people defending him talking about how, well, the guy said later that it would be his right to give his child over to sex trafficking, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, what? And I typed in TikTok, I was in the search bar, and I went, and I paused, And I was like, I don't watch Dean. I don't know who this guy is. Dean has been giving me weird vibes for a little bit now. I don't care. And I went about my day. So, like, the basis of that is I've tried to catch myself on people who I don't care about. I don't intake their music, movies, content, whatever. If I hear like, oh, did you hear so-and-so did this? I don't know. I don't know them. I don't watch them, you know?
I feel like at least from anything I've seen of Dean Withers, that conversation feels like it was like out of context for some reason, but I'm not even going to try to defend him because I don't watch his shit either, to be honest.
No, there's an entire group of just quirky little white boys who go around talking about they try to get together a group to follow Charlie Kirk around college campuses to try to make him look bad. And it didn't even get off the ground before they ate each other alive. That one of the founding members of it, one of them that was getting together, apparently had some microaggressions towards a black woman on a panel, and it split the group in half and it collapsed. And I'm like, y'all are going to try to preach how this is how America should go. And you can't even get day one. You can't make it to day one. And you expect people to listen to you? And what's worse is I did see some black creators talk about those were microaggressions, but I also saw black creators saying she didn't do anything wrong. And they just collapsed because they're so worried about being labeled racist. They can't handle it.
Yeah, I feel like that's an issue when you go hyper left, but I can't say much. The only thing I've seen of like Dean himself is like the 20 versus 1, I think Jubilee bullshit.
Yeah.
And it annoyed me so much that they kept cutting him off because I'm just like, oh my gosh, he can't get a fucking word out.
Yeah, I was about to say, Dean did not annoy me right there. What annoyed me was everybody else who saw him as like a teenage kid that they could just scream over, you know?
Yeah, literally.
I've watched a couple of those Jubilee videos, and one of my favorites is Sam Cedar saying government, like it was talking about DEI, and this person was like, oh, they're just doing it for tax breaks and whatever, or something like that. And Sam Cedar was like, government agencies don't pay taxes. They're funded by taxes. And the person was like, that's a lie. You're wrong. And the funniest shit was Sam just going.
I remember seeing one thing. I think it was Dean. That was he was on the phone with a dude trying to talk about the Second Amendment. And the dude was like, the Constitution shouldn't have to be changed. And the dude was like, or Dean was like, you like your right to own guns, right? And he was like, well, hell yeah, I do. And he's like, well, that was a change to the Constitution. And I found that hilarious because he also did the...
Well, I mean, it wasn't.
The Second Amendment?
When was the Bill of Rights written? Because the Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments, and I'm pretty sure that was a package deal.
Well, that's the Bill of Rights. The amendments is changed to the Constitution anyways.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I know the Constitution was written after the Declaration of Independence. The Constitution was basically like, okay, everybody's fighting. Let's calm down, please. We're trying to be a country here. Let's get it together.
Yeah.
And then I'm just wondering, like, when... Because I don't necessarily know when the Bill of Rights was written. Because I had always thought that was a package deal. That was like, here's the Constitution, how we want the country ran. Here's some rights that you guys have. Okay, I know past
Constitution that. Written in... Well, yeah, the Constitution was written in 89 and ratified in 1789 and 1791.
Right.
Constitution would have been before that, right?
The Declaration of Independence? You just said the Constitution was written in 89, and then you said the Constitution would
No,
have been
no,
before
I
that.
had corrected and said that the Bill of Rights was written in 89 and ratified in 91, 1789, 1791.
Okay.
The Bill of Rights was 1787, or the Constitution was 1787.
87. So, yeah, the bill. Okay. So, I guess so. Yeah, it was a bit of a change. But then again, I don't think it changed. I don't think there was in the Constitution, people aren't allowed to have. I could be mistaken. I could absolutely
It wasn't
be
like
mistaken.
they aren't allowed to, but it was expressly permitted in the in the change, the amendment.
Okay. So, I
don't know.
I think
there might have been a gray area issue beforehand or some shit. I don't know.
I think this is just coming down to semantics, really. But
yeah, pretty much.
I know that like every amendment passed that was for sure like this is a problem we have with the Constitution, so let's add this into it.
The Constitution was hastily written, and the Bill of Rights.
Well, yeah, because like I said, after the war was over, I think like people started fighting over where the borders of lands would be, and the militias
Probably.
started becoming the army of New York or the army or whatever. And the founding fathers were like, "This is not what we wanted, guys."
Yeah, guys, we did this to be together. Hey, guys, please.
That's where the whole 3/5 compromise came from, which people cling on to say Thomas Jefferson wasn't a racist, even though he had slave children with a slave that wasn't with him consensually.
Yeah. But we skip past that, you know?
We skip past he wanted to free the black people.
Yeah.
He wanted to.
Absolutely.
I need an AI rendering of Thomas Jefferson talking about his
Thomas
stance,
Jefferson and Martin Luther King shaking hands.
dapping up. Thomas Jefferson going, I'm cool, right? I'm with this guy.
My best friend.
I need to see him getting water hosed in Alabama. You know what I mean? This dude went and got a motherfucking raincoat. I love
brought
that.
an umbrella.
I love that. Have you seen that Boondock scene?
No.
The grandfather always talks about how he was there in the streets while people were getting hosed down. And I think it was Riley. He was like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "What are you talking?" He's like, "People always put themselves in like historical events, but they weren't really there." And you see a flashback, and grandfather is like running up to the crowd after they've been water hosed. And he was like, "Man, what happened?" The guy's like, "Where were you?" And he said, I forgot my raincoat." And he was wearing this yellow rain. And the dude just, "You see this guy? This dude went and got a motherfucking raincoat."
That's hilarious.
Oh, the Boondocks is so great. They'd have some fire episodes if they were out right now. The creators of South Park said we're taking a break. That next season of South Park is about to go stupid. About to go crazy if they extend it.
Didn't one of these shows get like hit by like Rachel Ziegler because of the Snow White shit? Or was it?
I haven't heard any of this. Was she that Snow White everybody was pissed off was black?
No, she was the Snow White that everybody's pissed off that they just made a remake and changed the story. I don't think it was probably either one of those two shows. I think it was something like Family Guy. But yeah, they made fun of her and she got mad.
See, like, I don't know. For stuff like that, you just got to take it on the chin. Like Family Guy and shows like that were built off of making fun of pop culture. It's like, you were in such a dumpster fire. I don't get how you can have a soft skin. If you're a celebrity, you can't have soft skin. You just can't.
Yeah. Especially when you realize that you fucked up.
By the way.
And they make fun of you for it.
By the way, did you hear what came out yesterday?
No.
This same administration that has spent the first half of this year talking about how they're going to release the files. Don't worry, they're on my desk. We have flight logs, we have names, we have it all, and we're going to release it. Did you hear what happened yesterday?
No.
All of a sudden, there's not only no list of names that went to that island, now there's camera footage that undoubtedly proves that Epstein killed himself. Even though in the original report, the cameras weren't working.
Okay. Okay.
Republicans, you got played. You got played. That list was never coming out.
Yeah.
Dude, and like Republicans, the people who run for office, because Red is so convinced that all the weirdos on the other side. My side doesn't have any weirdos. Republicans can run on the fact, oh, we're going to expose the deep state. And we fight for good. And we're going to unleash that. And we're going to declassify all this. And they're like, yeah, go get them. Go get them Democrats. Go get them pedocrats. And they get in office and they're like, because they're on the same fucking list. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
If there even is a list.
It just sounds like all that's ever going to happen is they're going to keep covering shit up. Because I don't even think the Democrats are going to release anything if they ever get into office.
Yeah. And, dude, Kash Patel, director of the FBI, did one of the stupidest things he could do. He went on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan grilled him about this. And just a couple years earlier, he told Joe Rogan, he said, no, I've always thought it was a suicide. I've always thought. He has clips from podcasts he's been on saying it was impossible for the guy to kill himself. Publicly stated he doesn't believe for a second he killed himself, goes on Joe Rogan. No, I always thought. And then looked directly at the camera and said, would I lie to you? Would I lie to you?
That answer is a dead ass yes.
Yes.
See, I don't understand how there's people that die hard by politicians and people in power with places like that, because it's just like every scenario that I could ever think of has always ended with, oh, they just straight up went back on that. Like, no, they didn't. I think there was only like one president, forgot his name, but he was like, I'm going to do this, and then that's it. And then that's what he did.
Yeah.
And he didn't even run for re-election because he was done.
You know what's incredible to me is Republicans love to claim that Democrats are obsessed with government, blindly follow the government in whatever they do.
Who says who? Wait. Who says who?
I have talked to many Republicans, and you will see this online. They will talk about Democrats like they blindly follow the media and the government, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, there's a little test. You know we love our little tests for people.
Yeah.
I want you, if you go up to a Democrat and you talk about, man, Bill Clinton is probably on that list. Joe Biden is probably on that list. They'll be like, they should be thrown in prison forever. If you go up to a Republican and you say Donald Trump is probably on the list, they're like, well, show me. Do you have proof? Ted Cruz is probably on the list. Really? Show me. Show me where it is.
Let's say of all the people to say that Democrats, of all people, are the blind, the light-eyed followers, Trump shops.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Is the Democrats going to a mini little war with ICE right now? But they're the ones who blindly follow the government, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, Republicans do have January 6th. They can just throw that out there. But that's shaky because they can't really agree on whether or not it was just a visit to the Capitol.
Yeah, it was a visit to the Capitol. It wasn't a riot. It wasn't a rally. It was a visit.
People didn't kill. There wasn't a noose outside, and there isn't video evidence of people saying, what are we going to do when we break in? We're going to kill them. There's none of that. It was just guys walking up to the Capitol and taking pictures when they went inside.
Yeah, touring. Absolutely.
That was it.
But when it's in their favor, we stand up to the government. Look at January 6th.
Yeah. But when we had a problem with the government, we took it to the government and just went on a little tour. I'm pretty sure you can book that on Wednesdays for about $100.
And look, let me tell you, email your local representative. You can schedule a fucking date.
You know how, whatever. And that's like, that leads into, there's intelligent people on both sides. As much as people want to yell and scream that the other side is stupid and doesn't think and is woke or is demonic or is whatever.
Yeah.
There's intelligent people on both sides. What I cannot stand, and luckily I've gotten to a point where I just scroll past it now, is stupid fucking answers. Either dishonest answers on purpose or just sharing shit that is so surface level. Dude, I'm gonna call out my dad right now. And if he listens to this and he gets angry, he can text me.
All right.
He shared something that said, remember, demons in the Bible reference themselves as being they, them. Okay, let's break this down. What's your reaction to that, first of all?
Do they?
They do, but there's a reason.
Because it never sounds like they're talking about themselves if they're talking about the Bible, because I've seen, I mean, it depends on which version you're reading, really.
So I had a reaction to this, and I looked it up to make sure it was a valid reaction, and it was. So let's break this down. First of all, what are we trying to say? Are we trying to say non-binary people are demonic? Are we saying non-binary people were created by the devil?
Apparently.
What? They're possessed?
That's what he's saying.
Anyway. Second of all, just like for a second when you hear that, why is it that these people are referring to themselves as they, them? Why is it demons refer to themselves as they, them? Well, non-binary people think that, or think, I might sound problematic, but if you walk away saying he's an asshole, unapologetic asshole, that's your problem. I was going to say slit your wrist, but I'm not going that far. But they feel like they don't fit into the gender norms of male and female or men and women or whatever. So they just refer to themselves as they because they don't, whatever, right? It's still a singular person. You go over to the Bible, demons refer to themselves as they because there's literally many of them. When someone is possessed in the Bible, there are several demons inhabiting their vessel, their essence. It's several demons. That is why it is called they. Just think for 2 seconds.
That would make sense.
Oh my God. Just stupid shit like that. It's like, if you post like that in a unironic, serious manner, I can't take you seriously with anything you say. Because even on something you're supposed to be a devout follower of, you don't know.
You misinterpret.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that just sounds like any flat earther, any anti-vaxxer. Oh, wait. I'll take that back. Sorry, YouTube.
Oh yeah, please don't mention that.
It just sounds like anybody that copes with their surface level information. Like most of the extremities of each side that I've seen, they'll take what they see as a headline, and that's officially fact now.
Dude, and even now with this list, they're not pointing at Trump. They're pointing at Pam Bondi, the attorney. They're like, she's responsible. They all are. All of them.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, if there is a list. Who knows? Is there
if there is a... I don't know. As a matter of fact, I think he killed himself, so... Yeah,
apparently there's no list and nobody was there. So why is his girlfriend in prison for 20 plus years?
Shit.
There was no list?
Deep state secrets.
There's no list, but they're hiding the rest to protect children? But there's no list, and there's been no prosecutions. Hey. They think you're stupid. And honestly, you're proving yourself to be fucking stupid.
They're just a lot of blind followers, man. I will tell you.
And dude, the last fucking stupid. Let me just ask you a question.
All right.
If you have a politician that you relatively agree with, okay?
Okay.
And every time they make an announcement or they open something, and let's hypothetically call this a crocodile prison, okay?
Okay.
If they come out with merch, if they just start plastering that shit over shirts, hats, flags, bumper stickers, would you not go, maybe this guy's insane?
Now, is this like a prison? Like inmates, like...
Oh, you
guard?
haven't heard of Alligator Alcatraz?
No.
Alligator Alcatraz, dude. Look it up while I'm talking to you about this.
All right.
This is a new prison in Florida that people are comparing to a concentration camp. I'm not going to call it a concentration camp. People might get on my ass about that, but there's no gas chambers. We don't know what the food conditions are going to be like. It looks like hell, but the reason it's called Alligator Alcatraz is because it's surrounded by a moat that is apparently filled with alligators. Okay? And I saw my dad post like an AI video about this as well. And they're just going to start throwing people they deport, which, by the way, if you think still they've deported only criminals, you're a fucking idiot. I don't want to sugarcoat it. You're a fucking idiot. You are a blind sheep following Trump, the shepherd. Anyway, as soon as this got announced on Twitter, there was an immediate store that sold hats, shirts, shoes, glasses, flip-flops, flags, bumper stickers, all with Alligator Alcatraz. And like, if your politician starts pushing merch, like,
to think you would, you know, take Make America Great Again or any Trump shot, for example, and think of the money people were making off of shit like this. I mean,
dude, if you see the Trump show and you are automatically, am I being conned? This guy is selling everything under the sun. And there's even Republican influencers or people that just talk about Trump on TikTok that are like, man, fuck these liberals. Trump's doing the best. By the way, go in the TikTok shop and buy this hat right here. If you hate liberals, buy this hat right here. Let them know.
Yep.
You're being scammed. You're being conned.
Right.
How does that not click in your head?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's because we live in this ultra fascination where you don't love a politician unless you are every day on social media defending them, unless you are dressed fully. Do you know how many people I fucking heard talk about Biden got all these votes? Where's the Biden supporters? They're not dressed head to toe in his merch. That's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. I have yet to see an actual like Democrat with all the merch, if there is any.
I'll see a hat or a pin.
Maybe I mean, I've seen like generic Democrat like stuff, but I haven't seen like Biden.
I haven't seen someone
Kamala.
I haven't seen someone making a video dressed in a Biden hat, glasses, shirts, shorts, shoes, and then open their closet to 4 Biden-Harris flags. And Make America Socialist. I don't don't see it. There are people who have spent thousands of dollars on Trump merch. And you don't think you're being conned. Like,
I will never understand.
Oh, and honestly, this is the last story we'll touch upon. So we're at 54 minutes. Unless you want to get to your rant about work to finish off this episode with that.
We'll see how long this takes.
Okay. Well, you know Zoran Mandami?
No.
So he is the Democratic nominee for being the New York mayor, and I think he just won.
Yes. I just never knew his name. Yeah.
There have been calls to deport him.
Yeah.
Trump has said, we'll look into it. Republicans are saying, let's look into his papers, see if we can deport him. How do you hear that and don't think this guy's insane?
Yeah.
Like,
it's just like...
Wipe everything to the side. Everything, okay?
It's because
everything
this dude of foreign nationality becomes a mayor, and now you suddenly don't want that, so you're going to look into every excruciating detail just to see what you can do to get him out. And for some reason, that doesn't ring suspicious to anybody besides, like, the few sources I've seen.
It is completely un-American coming from the side that gives so much of a shit about what America is supposed to be and stand for. You know what America is supposed to be? Not a country that throws out people that don't agree with us just because they don't fucking agree with us.
Yeah. Like, if you're going to do it to him, do it to Arnold Schwarzenegger, too. I mean, he's the, governor of California or some shit?
I mean, back in, like, the 90s.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, let's just throw Artie in there. Get his muscular ass the fuck out of here.
You know what I mean.
You know, if we're going to deport him, let's get Jackie Chan out of here. Why not?
And they already did fucking, what's his name? The Kali some shit. That TikTok dude.
Oh, they've done it to several TikTok people. You got to be honest. I don't know about, but like, the people who still support the guy and this administration and Republicans after they have all called for this guy to be deported because they don't like his policies, if you still support him, I don't like you. That's all I'm going to say. I don't like you. I think you're an idiot.
It's very rough out here.
Now,
anybody.
Sorry.
That was it.
I got fired up, and me cutting you off just gets worse the more fired up I get.
Hey, you're cool. I was done.
But the fuck was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh, one thing people may listen to this whole thing and say, why haven't you mentioned this big beautiful bill? Very simple. I don't know enough about it. I've heard what it might do. I've heard the pros and cons, but I don't have an informed opinion. And honestly, that's how we should all act. I'm not saying I'm a perfect example of what a human being should be, but having the humility to say, I don't know about that. I haven't looked into it as much as I probably should have. I'm not smart enough to make a good conclusion to my opinion on it. It's okay to say that.
I mean, I've looked into it one time, and from what I can remember, if this is even correct from that one source, is that the national parks get to stay national parks.
Really?
Not being forced to be sold.
I think I know who you were talking to for that.
Maybe a long time ago, but I don't know if I've ever talked with you about that recently.
No. Like who you were talking to when it came to the national parks. Like, Tori is really into national parks. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't talking. I wasn't talking to her.
Okay, you were just reading. Okay.
Yeah, I was just reading up on it.
I've heard that the taxes on the poor can be really bad. I've heard I think $4.1 trillion.
I've heard of major budget cuts for some services.
And just to give tax breaks to billionaire. I've heard it all.
Yeah.
I've heard it all, but I don't have a good enough opinion to rant about it. But when it comes to, I'm gonna try to relax. What's your favorite ice cream, Z? What's your favorite ice cream?
Favorite ice cream? We'll go chocolate.
Chocolate.
Just basic.
I'll throw down on some chocolate. I'll make it into a milkshake so my wife can play with my little asshole, as you know.
Okay, and on that note, we're coming up on an hour, and I feel like we should end this conversation.
Sometimes I'm like, man, I wish. Sometimes I'm like, I wish Z would open up more. I think it could make the podcast better. And then you just hear what I say.
Yeah,
with my open door. You know,
And I
no
just don't wanna
screen
deal
door.
with that.
You just like, you know what? All my
I wish
thoughts,
there was any sort of door.
all my actions. We're not opening the door. We're keeping that bitch locked. Okay.
Yeah, and so, a matter of fact, I think I lost the key.
This was Red Light Homies. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I apologize. It was a lot more ranty, but I had some stuff to get off my chest.
It is what it
I
is.
apologize for the screaming. I also had to talk about how much of a dipshit I was for deleting the entire video of the audio. Man, this podcast has been start and stop this whole summer because of my dumbass.
Shit happens.
But follow us wherever you want to follow us. We have, what do we have? We have an Instagram. We have a TikTok.
TikTok.
Wherever you get the audio version of this podcast, and subscribe on YouTube if you would. But also rate the show. Tell us what you think about it. Rate it 5 stars. Z, what's a 5-star rating these people can
Man, Jackie really has a lot of issues that he wants to get off his chest. 5 stars.
Jackie's open door policy. Maybe he should shut it. 5 stars
Yeah.
though. But also share it, whether that's clicking the crooked arrow, sharing to whatever platform you want to share to. But word of mouth especially. That was kind of fucky. Word of mouth. It's important. If someone comes up to you and says, hey, I want to watch this fat fucking possible, I almost said bilingual. That's not the word. And then I almost said bisexual. That's not the word either. This possible biracial man scream about stuff he barely understands. See, where do they send them?
Well, you can tell them to head on to the boys Jackie and Z over at Red Light Homies, where you'll find the possibly biracial, bisexual, bilingual Jackie.
Como está?
To talk about whatever he talks about, I guess.
This was the homies Jackie and Z.
Yes, sir, that's me.
And we'll see y'all next Monday.
Peace out.
Rolling up a little bit of pie. Rolling with some shit that's fine. Fine shit hard on a 9. I'm rubbing on the tabs on the spine. Rolling through in the 8. Wake up, be on the grind. Serving at 6:15. Serving in the 615.